Welcome back to the deep dive, everyone. In January 2026, the text-based internet just quietly crashed. Like $1 trillion of ad money basically vanished overnight.
Yeah, completely evaporated. And then it just reappeared in some of the absolute strangest corners of YouTube.
Right. So today, for you listening, we're unpacking a really comprehensive 2026 research report. It exposes the mechanics behind YouTube's elite $10 plus RPM monetization tier. So, okay, let's unpack this because the digital ad ecosystem fundamentally broke and rebuilt itself this year.
Yeah, it really did. And to understand where all this money is flowing, you have to look at why it abandoned traditional publishing in the first place.
Because of the Google Ad Manager failure, right?
Exactly. Google Ad Manager suffered this massive catastrophic failure with tag recognition. So the system basically lost its ability to match a reader's profile with the right advertiser.
Oh, wow. So the data link was just gone.
Gone. Without it, match rates collapsed. I mean, text-based publishers watched 50 to 9% of their ad revenue just disappear.
50 to 90%. That is...
Yeah, and you combine that with AI search overviews, which were already eating up organic website traffic, and, well, text simply became way too risky for corporate advertisers.
It's exactly like a stock market crash. Advertisers panicked. They pulled their massive budgets out of volatile text-based bonds and parked their money in the safe haven gold of long-form video.
That is a perfect way to put it.
Because, I mean, you can't easily summarize the pacing or the visuals or that parasocial connection of a video with an AI text overview.
Right, you just can't. So $1 trillion of global ad spend had to go somewhere safe and brand-friendly, and it flooded straight into YouTube.
But the rules for getting that money changed, didn't they?
Oh, totally. To hit that elite $10 tier we're talking about, creators had to master a very specific formula. Because advertisers might be bidding massive CPMs, but, YouTube takes its cut.
Right, that 45% cut. So the actual RPM, the creator's net take-home pay per 1,000 views, that's the only metric that actually matters here.
Exactly. And to keep that RPM above $10, this report shows that creators are strictly targeting Tier 1 countries, so like the US and Australia.
Right.
And they are actively avoiding YouTube Shorts, completely.
Which is wild because everyone pushes Shorts, but they pay, what, a dismal 3 to 30 cents per 1,000 views?
Yeah, 3 to 30 cents. Shorts just lack the ad inventory. Capturing high yields means your videos strictly have to exceed the 8-minute mark.
Ah, the 8-minute rule.
Yep. Crossing that threshold unlocks multiple mid-roll advertisements. It effectively doubles or triples the revenue for the exact same viewer.
But hold on, if you're just dragging out watch times to stuff in ads, aren't you going to alienate the viewer? A short is a quick vending machine snack.
Sure.
But a 12-minute video feels like a nice sit-down dinner where the chef just keeps interrupting your meal to pitch you credit cards.
That is exactly why most content fails at this tier. The video itself has to justify those interruptions.
Okay, so how do they do that?
Well, the highest paying niches only work because the audience has this intense transactional intent, or honestly, a deep, almost compulsive psychological need to finish the video.
So holding attention for 8 minutes is the only way to get paid. What kind of content actually achieves that without people just, clicking away?
Well, personal finance makes sense, right?
Yeah, yielding $10 to $25 RPMs because banks have huge customer acquisition budgets.
Exactly. But this report highlights something much weirder. Betrayal and revenge narratives are pulling in a $12.82 RPM.
Wait, really? Betrayal stories?
Yeah, because human psychology demands closure. When we hear a story about relationship fallout or karmic justice, our brains literally need to see the conflict resolved.
Oh, I see. So the audience retention curves for these stories are incredibly flat.
Yes. Viewers will sit through a 12-minute narrative, and they'll trigger every single mid-roll ad simply because they need that resolution.
Wow. Okay, that makes total sense. But then there's the English learning, or ESL niche, which is sitting at an $11.88 RPM.
Yes. And the wild part here is how this specific content is being produced now. It's being completely industrialized.
Oh, right, with AI.
Yeah. Operators are automating the entire workflow using a platform called Wondercraft AI. They basically link separate APIs together to generate content without any human intervention at all.
So they use Claude 4.5 to write the conversational script.
Exactly. And that feeds directly into a model called Nano Banana 2.
Gotta love the names.
Right. But Nano Banana 2 renders these hyper-realistic static images of a podcast studio. Then the system automatically layers on an animated audiogram and captions to keep learners focused.
And they're churning out fully commercial 12-minute videos for under $2.
Under $2 a video, yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting. If operators can mass produce these videos for $2 a pop, won't they just flood the market and crash the RPM for everyone?
Well, you'd think so, and that threat does exist.
No.
But consider the sheer scale of the demand here.
Right.
There are like 1.5 billion people globally learning English. The advertisers' language apps, international universities, they place incredibly high lifetime values on those users.
Ah. So as long as the AI creates natural-sounding human dialogue that gives real listening practice, advertisers will just keep bidding aggressively.
Exactly. It's the ultimate convergence of human psychology and algorithmic efficiency.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Well, whether you're building a digital business or just trying to navigate the modern internet, audience intent matters far more than viral vanity metrics.
Yeah, it's not about millions of empty views.
No, it's about capturing and holding the attention of the exact right demographic. But, it leaves me with one wild thought for you to chew on before we go.
Oh boy. What is it?
If AI models are now writing the scripts, synthesizing the voices, and rendering the images for fractions of a penny, how long until AI algorithms are also the ones watching the videos to farm the ad revenue? Think about that. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.